Okay, here we go. This is getting ready for 6th grade, lesson 16, area of a parallelogram. We know a parallelogram is what?
Shape with two sides that are parallel.
Okay, shape with two sides that are parallel. You have learned the area of a rectangle is base and height. Is area equals B times H. The rectangle shown has a base of 5 units. So if we go across here, we have 5 units and a height of 3 units. So the area is equal to 5 times 3, which is 15 square units. Remember, when we do area, we do squared. You can use what you have learned about the area of a rectangle to find the area of a parallelogram. The souvenir stand at Mighty Grasshopper basketball game sells parallelogram-shaped pennants. You know what a pennant is? A little sign you wave with maybe your school name on it. Usually you see them, they're more triangular, but they're telling you that these are parallelogram. Each pennant has a base of 12 inches and a height of 5. Draw the parallelogram on a grid paper and cut it out. So if we drew this on a piece of grid paper, cut along the dashed line, so we're going to cut along this line. We're going to cut along this line right here. Move that, so we're going to take this and we're going to flip it over here. And what happens now? What do we have?
A parallelogram.
We still have a parallelogram, but we also have a rectangle, right? The base of the rectangle measures what? 12 inches. And the height of the rectangle was 5. The area of the rectangle is 12 times 5, which is
16.
Okay? So all we did was take a chunk of our parallelogram and flip it to the other side, and we made it to be a rectangle. So it says, explain why the area of the parallelogram must be equal to the area of the rectangle. So both figures use or are made from the same amount of paper. We didn't have to add, once we cut out our parallelogram, we didn't have to add more paper to it or take paper away. We just took that little triangle and flipped it over to the other side to get our rectangle. So if you need to stop your recording, you can do that. Okay, let's go on to the share and show on the back. So what are we going to do here?
We're going to take your base times your
Base times our height. Remember,
the area.
area is equal to base times height. Sorry, I gotta get my tools up. Hopefully. So here we go. 8 times 4 is 32. And notice they put square centimeters. How else could we write that? We could do centimeters squared, just like we did centimeters cubed, right? When we did volume. Number 2, 20 times 20. How many zeros is this going to have?
2.
2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. How about 3? 13 times 9. Well, what's 10 times 9?
90.
90. And then 3 times 9 is 27. So 117 square what? Meters. And 5 times 7, that one's pretty easy. 35. Let's look at the problem solved down at the bottom. Carla made a border for her garden using a parallelogram shaped tiles. Each piece had a base of 4 inches and a height of 2 1/2 inches. She used 85 tiles. What is the area, total area? So we have to have 4 times 2 1/2. Okay, gonna do a little fraction work here. What are we gonna do to that 2 1/2 so we can multiply it?
Turn into a
Turn it into a, not a mixed fraction, but an improper fraction. So 4 times, we're going to make this improper. 2 times 2 is, plus 1 is 5 halves, right? We know we can put the 1 under here. Doesn't change that. 4 times 5 is, divided by 2 is 10. So the area of each little tile is 10, and she's doing 85 of those. So what is that? So now we have 10 times 85. How many zeros are we going to have? And 1 times 85 is 50 square what? What's our unit of measure? Inches. Okay, notice 7, 8, and 9, they didn't give you a shape. Some are decimals, and some are fractions. Remember when we multiply a decimal, we do our multiplication just like we normally would. Then we go back and say this one has 1 decimal and this one has 1 decimal. So we would have a decimal place there, or we could say tenths times tenths is hundredths. And we would know that our answer needed to be hundredths. Okay, so be careful when you're doing that decimal multiplication. Go ahead and finish up what's left of it on your own.